Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates School of Ultimate Leadership Conclave in New Delhi. Bhutan Prime Minister sharing top gear attends conclave as a guest of honor. Israel prepares to carry out an intensive West Bank operation after explosions on 3 buses close to Tel Aviv. No casualties reported. White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz says Trump very frustrated with Volodymyr Zelensky. Ukraine must strike critical minerals deal. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday inaugurated the first edition of the School of Ultimate Leadership, which is SOUL Leadership Conclave at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi on Friday. Bhutanese Prime Minister sharing top gear was also present at the conclave. Addressing the conclave, PM Modi said the development of citizens as leaders is very important for nation building. He said the establishment of the School of Ultimate Leadership is an important step towards the journey of Viksit Bharat. The 2-day SOUL Leadership Conclave serves as a premier platform where leaders from diverse domains will share their inspiring life journeys and discuss aspects relating to leadership. School of Ultimate Leadership is an upcoming leadership institution in Gujarat to enable authentic leaders to advance the public good. The aim is to broaden the landscape of political leadership in India through formal training and to include those who rise through merit, commitment and passion for public service and not just from political lineage. SOUL brings in insights, skills and expertise necessary to navigate the complex challenges of leadership in today's world. And Bhutanese Prime Minister sharing top gear delivered the keynote address as the guest of honor. He said PM Modi has put India on the path of progress in just 10 years with wisdom, courage and compassionate leadership.
आदरसारान मौका है वह इसलिए कि विश्व की महान नेता आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी से ही नेतृत्व का पाठ पढ़ूंगा। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, मेरे बड़े भाई, आपने अपनी बुद्धिमानी, साहस और करुणा से भरे नेतृत्व से भारत को केवल 10 ही वर्षों में प्रगति की पथ पर अग्रसर किया है।
Moving on, Thursday was a difficult day for Israel as it received bodies of 4 dead hostages, including 2 infants and a journalist, though the body of Shiri Bebas could not be identified. Now Israel is preparing for military operations in West Bank following a series of explosions just outside Tel Aviv. More details in this report.
The handover of bodies under the fragile ceasefire was received with tears. The death of 2 Israeli infants, Fir and Ariel Bebas, has shocked the nation. Tragically, a 3rd body was mistakenly thought to be their mother, Shiri Bebas, but has not been identified.
It's a mixed emotions about the return of the 4 hostages dead today. On one hand, it's very sad as a Jewish and as an Israeli, and I believe that this is the feeling of any Israeli and Jewish in the world today. This is probably the saddest day since October 7. On the other hand, I'm happy that the families has a relief that their loved ones are back.
Additionally, the body of 83-year-old Odeid Lifshitz was confirmed. Lifshitz was abducted alongside his wife Yocheved, who was later released. It has been reported that Lifshitz was murdered over a year ago.
We offer our deepest condolences to the Lifshitz family Today, 503 days after the October 7th massacre, the body of Mr. Lifshitz, who was murdered more than a year ago in captivity, has been identified. Since October 7th, 2023, the team of the Israel National Center of Forensic Medicine is dedicating itself to identifying all October 7th victims and thus provide closure for the families and proper burial. The employees of the Israel National Center of Forensic Medicine are continuing the identification efforts.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has vowed to eliminate Hamas, stressing the need to prevent any repeat of the horrific October 7 attacks.
My brothers and sisters, dear citizens of Israel, on this day we are all united. We are all united in unbearable grief. Every home in Israel bows its head today. We bow our heads at the heavy loss of our 4 hostages. We all hurt in pain that is laced with rage. We all rage over the monsters of Hamas. The coffins of our loved ones oblige us, more than ever, to promise, to vow, that what happened on October 7th will never happen again, ever.
Fear, anxiety, and anger added to the overwhelming sense of grief as Israel saw a series of explosions on buses near Tel Aviv, though no casualties were reported. The blast took place at bus depots that were empty at the time. Israel has intensified counter-terrorism efforts in the West Bank and fortified key entry points. These developments followed the return of the first dead bodies as part of the agreement, with the additional hostages expected to return this Saturday in exchange for hundreds of Palestinians. Negotiations are underway for the second phase of the deal, which could see around 60 more hostages returned and a potential full withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. This conflict has exacted a huge toll on both sides of the divide. The loss has been immense, and the sad, poignant reminders of senseless violence and the scars it has entailed will remain etched in the memories of everyone for a long time to come. Aarti Rana's report for TD India.
And Arab leaders will meet in Saudi Arabia on Friday to counter US President Donald Trump's plan for US control of Gaza. The official Saudi press agency, citing an official, confirmed on Thursday that Egypt and Jordan were participating in Riyadh summit along with 6 country members of the Gulf Cooperation Council with the aim of strengthening cooperation and with regards to joint Arab action. The agency also said decisions issued by the unofficial fraternal meeting in the Saudi capital would appear on the agenda of an emergency Arab League summit to be held in Egypt on 4th March. And from bringing the conflict to end to sparring over democratic legacy and minerals deal, the US-Ukraine saga just continues to define new boundaries of international strategic and diplomatic maneuvers. The allegations and counterclaims have put the US-Ukraine negotiations on the headlines. Here's why.
The rift between US President Donald Trump and his Ukrainian counterpart continues to widen, with everyday statements stretching the gap. White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz said on Thursday that Ukrainian president needs to come back to the negotiating table and strike a critical minerals deal.
His frustration with President Zelensky is that you've heard is multifold. One, there needs to be a deep appreciation for what the American people, what the American taxpayer, what President Trump did in his first term, and what we've done since. So some of the rhetoric coming out of Kyiv, frankly, and insults to President Trump were unacceptable. He needs to come back to the table, and we're going to continue to have discussions about where that deal is going.
Zelensky on Wednesday rejected US demands for $500 billion in mineral wealth from Ukraine to repay Washington for wartime aid, saying the United States had supplied nowhere near the sum so far. Zelensky, however, struck a conciliatory tone after meeting US envoy Keith Kellogg, adding that talks restore hope in terms of achieving an agreement with Washington.
General Kellogg, our talks restore hope. We need strong agreements with America, agreements that will really work. I gave instruction to work fast and very much even-handedly. Economic interest and security interest should always go hand in hand, and the details of the agreement are important. The better the details are drafted, the better the result.
Back in Washington, support for continued aid is waning. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Congress is unlikely to approve another aid package.
Do you see another funding bill for the war in Ukraine?
Look, there's no appetite for that.
The US onslaught seems to be unending. Elon Musk, Trump's close ally, publicly attacked Zelensky Thursday, accusing him of running a massive corruption operation fueled by the deaths of Ukrainian soldiers, and claimed that Zelensky concealed elections out of fear of losing, despite controlling all Ukrainian media. Amidst escalating tensions, former Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko is urging Zelensky to take a diplomatic approach with Trump. Harshita Obroy's report for DD India.
And US President Donald Trump is gearing up for a significant week of diplomacy, with meetings scheduled with two key European leaders. In the coming Monday, he'll host French President Emmanuel Macron at the White House to discuss bilateral relations and global politics. This meeting is expected to cover a range of issues in maintaining strong alliances. Next Thursday, President Trump will meet British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. And speaking on his upcoming visit to Washington, D.C., French President Emmanuel Macron expressed that while it's important for Europe to stay close to the U.S., Europe also needs more independence.
Donc, ce que je vais faire, c'est je vais lui dire.
We must keep the American alive with us, the Europeans. We all want it, but we need greater autonomy, independence of the Europeans. Donald Trump creating uncertainty for Vladimir Putin is a very good thing for us, and that's also what's happening. We have to succeed in somehow structuring what's going to come next, a solid and lasting peace plan. I'm going to tell US President Donald Trump that he can't be weak in the face of Russian President Putin. It's not you, it's not what you are made of.
La Russie aurait le droit d'envahir l'Ukraine.
Well, let's now take a look at other stories making news around the world. Istanbul's Topkapi Palace Museum is expanding its cultural offerings with a brand new museum dedicated to porcelain, showcasing a stunning collection including rare ceramics. The Palace Museum is home to around 22,000 antique porcelain items which were primarily acquired through diplomatic gifts and trade. Newborn panda cubs at Chengdu are taking their first steps towards becoming expert climbers. These adorable cubs are learning to climb trees. As the cubs grow and develop, they'll become more confident and proficient in their climbing abilities. An auction house in New York launched the first auction of works created with the help of artificial intelligence, including a screen that comes to life thanks to a viewer's indications and an advertising machine. This auction serves as a testament to the innovative spirit of artists who are pushing the boundaries. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. G20 foreign ministers gather in South Africa amid tensions over trade. Ukraine will get you details after the break. And in sports, Afghanistan to start its Champions Trophy campaign against South Africa in Karachi today.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa opened the second day of G20 Foreign Minister meeting in Johannesburg. Over 30 countries were in attendance, including Indian Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. DD India correspondent Nazneen Ismail reports.
Good day from South Africa. As the G20 foreign ministers meeting unfolded in Johannesburg, the honourable ministers were welcomed on the red carpet with a vibrant traditional South African dance. Over 30 countries are attending, including Indian Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. US Secretary of State is absent due to diplomatic tensions, with the US represented by Acting Ambassador Dana Brown. Representatives of the European Union, United Nations and African Union are also present. The meeting will focus on geopolitical issues, South Africa's G20 achievements and key priorities such as economic growth, food security and sustainable development. President Cyril Ramaphosa opened the two-day foreign ministers' meeting in Johannesburg, marking the first time an African nation has led the G20.
We have now arrived finally, and we may not believe this, to the most beautiful country ever to be made in the world. So welcome. Africa is home to some of the world's fastest growing economies, and in many ways faces unique challenges such as the impact of climate change, developmental needs that it has, and the effects of global trade dynamics. This summit's location underscores the need for African voices to be heard on critical global issues like sustainable development, the digital economy and the shift towards green energy. It is a great opportunity too to promote greater collaboration between African nations and the rest of the world.
The foreign ministers will continue representing their countries in discussions on global issues and bilateral relations. I'm Nazneen for DD India, Johannesburg, South Africa.
And on the margins of the G20 Foreign Ministers meeting, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar called on South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and conveyed warm greetings of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In a social media post, the minister said he was honoured to call on President Ramaphosa and assured India's support for South Africa's G20 priorities. Earlier, the minister also met his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov in Johannesburg. The leaders reviewed the continued progress of India-Russia bilateral cooperation and discussed recent developments pertaining to the Ukraine conflict, including his Riyadh meeting. Both the leaders agreed to remain in touch. An high-level Indian delegation has concluded a landmark series of strategic meetings in Saudi Arabia, strengthening bilateral media partnerships and generating momentum for India's upcoming World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit. In a diplomatic initiative that represents a crucial step in India's strategy to establish itself as a leading force in the global entertainment industry, Indian delegation had a series of productive meetings in Saudi Arabia. The delegation met with key Saudi media leaders during the Future of Media exhibition in Riyadh. The delegation's agenda featured meeting high-ranking officials of Saudi Broadcasting Authority, exploring synergies in broadcasting technology and content exchange. Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Sanjay Jaju highlighted India's digital media advancements and the upcoming Waves 2025 summit.
We are here in full strength from India, and we have had a lot of discussions and deliberations. It provided us opportunities to discuss issues of common interest, because the media and the entertainment segment across the world has huge opportunities for countries, has also got its own challenges. So I think it has provided us the opportunity to discuss all these issues of common interest.
The visit is expected to create extensive opportunities for content creators, technology providers and media professionals in both countries. This diplomatic initiative is a crucial step to establish India as a leading force in the global entertainment industry. The meetings have laid the groundwork for long-term collaboration in digital media, broadcasting and entertainment.
Prasar Bharati already has an MOU with the Saudi Broadcasting Authority, and among the various meetings that were held, it was decided that the scope of the cooperation and coordination between the various entities on the Indian side and the Saudi side would be enhanced in the days to come. The Saudi representatives have also agreed to participate on a large scale in the Waves Summit in May 2025 in Mumbai.
Waves 2025, scheduled for May 1st to 4th in Mumbai, will showcase cutting-edge advancements in animation, gaming, visual effects, augmented reality and virtual production. Bureau Report, DD India. On to sports updates now. We'll start with Champions Trophy. After claiming a historic ODI series win over South Africa in September last year, Afghanistan is now ready to start its Champions Trophy campaign against the Proteas in Karachi on Friday. Afghanistan head into the contest after a 2-0 series win against Zimbabwe in December last year. South Africa, on the other hand, lost both their games in the recently concluded tri-series involving Pakistan and New Zealand, and also suffered a 0-3 loss against Pakistan at home last December. While South Africa is the odds-on favourite heading into the clash, the Afghans are more than capable of pulling off an upset in this Group B opener. The two sides have faced each other in ODIs on 5 occasions, with the Proteas winning 3 matches and the Afghans securing 2 victories. Meanwhile, India began their Champions Trophy campaign on a positive note as they beat Bangladesh by 6 wickets in the opening match in Dubai on Thursday. Chasing 229, India started off well but lost Rohit Sharma in the 10th over itself. Virat Kohli also got out after scoring 22, but opener Shubman Gill showed his class again and scored his 8th ODI 100. From India's bowling, Mohammad Shami was the pick of the bowlers, and India have started off well, and the next play Pakistan on Sunday. In Dubai Championship, 6th seed Elena Rybakina booked her spot in the semi-finals on Friday. She fired off 17 aces to register a 6-2, 7-6 victory over Sofia Kenin in the quarter-final match. The former Wimbledon champion is the highest-ranked player left in the draw. Rybakina is looking to reach the final in Dubai for the first time since 2020, when she lost to Simona Halep, but her immediate focus is a showdown with Russian teenager Mira Andreeva. An Indian classical dance form, Odissi, mesmerized audiences in Tokyo, transcending cultural boundaries. The Vivekanand Cultural Wing of the Embassy of India in Tokyo organized this initiative, bringing together dance enthusiasts to delve into the intricacies of this graceful and expressive art form. Here's more.
Amidst the bustling cityscape of Tokyo, a serene space was created dedicated to the graceful art of Odissi. This ancient dance, originating from Odisha, captivated participants from all walks of life. This initiative by the Vivekananda Cultural Center of the Embassy of India in Tokyo brought together beginners and seasoned dance enthusiasts, all eager to delve into the intricacies of this expressive art form. The workshop focused on the fundamental postures and the mudras that tell stories.
Wonderful. I mean, it's like I see they're very interested, trying to understand each and every movement patterns and the context of it. So, which is definitely very inspiring for me as a dance educator to see that in them.
Participants ranging from students to professionals were deeply immersed in the learning process. The Vivekananda Cultural Center in Tokyo is persistently working to encourage the Japanese population to pursue Indian traditional art forms, also fostering a deeper appreciation for Indian culture. Many expressed their appreciation for the opportunity to learn from an expert and connect with Indian traditions.
I practice Bharatanatyam and I teach yoga sometimes. So I love Indian cultures. So Vivekananda Cultural Center sometimes provide nice workshop taught by ICCR, good teachers, yeah. And today is Odissi, and I've never tried this dance, but I'm very interested.
Now, so Odissi, I joined Odissi, and it's first time for me. And I always see the reel on Instagram. It's first time, so I want to learn Odissi. because I'm interested in Indian culture.
With the dancing in India, it's a nice idea to know the culture by the dancing because we can learn a lot of it. I'm enjoying a lot.
Standing here amid the vibrant energy of these Odissi dancers, I can feel the power of cultural exchange. This initiative by the Vivekananda Cultural Wing of the Indian Embassy of Tokyo is not just about teaching dance, it is about building bridges and understanding.
Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.
Swagatam to Andhra Pradesh, the coastal jewel of India, a state steeped in history. From the Gandi Kota Fort to the majestic Kondapalli Fort, a region known as the Rice Bowl of India, a holy land with rivers Krishna and Godavari